So we just beat Artorias, so now it is time to go to the last area in the game, well, the DLC at least, and unlock the way to Kalameet, and then eventually fight Manus. Probably gonna be a lot of dying. This area, this last area here, can be pretty tricky. It's very easy to be ganged up on by a lot of enemies. The mages can be very deadly, and it's the area I have the least experience with just because it's the newest mostly. So it should be good. I'm thinking, yeah, I might as well increase my damage. Gotta have more damage. And I can almost one-hand it. Gonna use the soul of Artorias. Always need more souls. You need 20 strength to one-hit it, so close. Although I probably still wouldn't do that because the damage bonus for two-handing is pretty good. So I cut the video a little there because I took a break there, so you'd have to see the loading screens. Now these guys here, not too difficult if you fight them individually, but when they're in packs, that's when they can be tricky, because they are pretty fast and they are pretty aggressive. Again, a good shield makes them a lot easier, because you can just block their melee attack. But I don't have, well, I have one, but I can't really use it effectively. And that was mistimed. Look at that damage. Gotta be careful. The range on that rolling attack is so good, though. And this is the shortcut elevator that we'll be getting later. Thankfully, I can kill them pretty quickly. Ooh, and that guy falls right off the cliff. Now here we encounter the first mage. The best strategy for them when they're nearby is just kill them as quick as possible. But for areas where that isn't possible to do, it can be pretty tricky. Take that guy out. Soul of a Brave Warrior. So now in this place, you can get invaded by Chester if you're in human form. Although there doesn't seem to be much reason for it. He doesn't drop any items or anything. It's kind of weird, but he's pretty challenging actually. Now he drops the first, probably the first time you'll encounter the vocal emote items of Goth, which I guess is their answer to voice chat. I find them hilarious. I think other people think they're kind of just a troll, but whatever. Trying to take these out as quickly as possible before the mage starts attacking me. He does anyway. You pretty much have to roll to avoid those. They have such good tracking. And I barely have enough time to roll all the way of that. Ooh, a large Titanite shard. Now I'm going to run with my block up so I can roll through. I'm just waiting for him to attack one more time. And he immediately attacks again anyway. I'm going to roll through. And I'm really surprised he actually hit me right there, but oh well. And you actually do have to be careful when you get close to them. They do have a melee attack that's fairly fast. That inflicts poison. You really don't want to have to deal with that. And yeah, these guys are a good place to go if you want some shards, actually. If you just had the gold ring on, you could probably rack up quite a bit pretty quickly. In fact, the DLC has a lot of easy ways to accumulate helpful items like humanity, shards, all sorts of stuff. So this part can be really tricky, but since I'm only coming here to get the crest key right now, I'm not going to be bothering killing all of them. Soul of a Hero, and oh boy, this could be bad. Almost dead. Poise saving my face. Missed two times. There's a mage right there stalking me. Almost hit me. Take him out. Still kind of looking around. I don't know this area 100%. And the enemies here can really sneak up on you if you're not careful. So I'm going to get the crest key so I can fight Kalameet after meeting Goth. I'm still not 100% sure how it's pronounced. It was originally Go, but the way I believe he says Goth in the game. And that hurt really bad. And oh boy. Yeah, these guys will just gang up on you. Oh my lord. Oh boy, that was close. Now I know the area to get the key is really nearby, but I'm kind of forgetting where exactly. I know there's a jump you have to make. Now where is it? Ah, there it is. And of course I get hit again. My timing's off really badly, but it's okay. And he drops the key that we want. And there we go. And I've actually racked up quite a bit of souls doing this in a pretty short amount of time. Gonna use a homeward bone to get out of here just to get back to Goth's area. Now, there's an interesting thing about Goth. He can't see, as you get the cutscene kind of gives that away the way he's reaching for the bow. And at the item description of his helmet says it's packed with a resin, so it like covers up the eyes. Ooh, and I can one-hand the weapon now if I put that point in the strength, which I do. And so I'm not actually sure how he is able to shoot Kalameet, to be totally honest, because Kalameet seems to be pretty far away when he gets shot, so it can't be like based off sound or anything like that. So I'm not actually sure how he's able to do that, to be honest. I feel like there's something I'm not getting, because from that range I don't see how else you could shoot someone with a bow without being able to see it. I guess he's just that good? I don't know. He is a Hawkeye Goth. And yeah, I do need to get some homeward bones. And you can see he sells large titanite shards, which is very helpful. So the thing is, as you can see, he won't offer to shoot down Kalameet until you actually meet Kalameet. Now, the first time I did this, I just walked out there, Kalameet flew by, and I left, and then he was able to shoot him. I didn't even actually go to the bottom. But then there was a time where I tried that again, and it didn't work, and I actually had to go down there to get fire breathed on me. So I'm not exactly sure at what moment it triggers. Maybe the second time I did that, I just left a little bit too early. I'm not sure. But you do actually have to meet Kalameet before he'll offer to help you. And the reason Kieran isn't here is because I already used the Soul of Artorias. She'll only be there if you have it in your possession. And if you give it to her, I believe she gives you her weapons. But you can also just kill her to get the weapons, so I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're doing it for role-playing purposes. Because the moment you give her the soul, she'll leave, and you'll never be able to get it back. Or her armor set. And her armor set's actually pretty good. So there's some good items down here we want to get. The dogs down here aren't much to worry about. Although if you're about on the way to fight Kalameet, you should probably pay attention and try not to get hit by them too much. But right now I don't really care, since I'm not actually going to fight him just yet, since I gotta go back, talk to Goth. And yes, this is the area in the present time that a river flows through. Right now it's just a little stream, but in the present time it's actually a flowing river, and it leads to the waterfall where you fight the Hydra. Pretty cool stuff. And from what I understand, Kalameet is literally the last living dragon alive, and probably the most powerful, from what we can assume, considering how Goth talks about him. That not even Interlando dare, provoke his ire, which kind of gives me the impression that what I think he means by that, I don't think I think he's referring mostly to Ornstein when he says that, because obviously Ornstein is literally called Dragon Slayer Ornstein, so he's obviously pretty good at killing dragons. And I think we can safely assume that at the moment this game takes place, that Ornstein's probably at Anorlando right now. So I think that's what he's mostly referring to, is Ornstein and his men, whoever he'd go in the battle with. Not even they would fight Kalameet. Because I'm not really sure who else he'd actually be referring to, specifically. I think that's what he means, at least. Would have been kind of cool to see Ornstein in the DLC, but I'm pretty sure they didn't want to run into continuity issues, because obviously you can't kill Ornstein now and have him show up in the present day. Although it would have been kind of cool if he was at least like in a cutscene for a brief moment or something. But oh well. The rest of the group is here. Hawkeye Goth, Lord Blade Kieran, Knight Artorias, representing the Hawk, the Wolf, and the Hornet. And Ornstein represents the Lion, I believe, the Leo ring. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So now we're going back to talk to Goth. And I'm not really sure why Goth is trapped in that room, to be honest. I'm assuming Ulasil did that, but I'm not sure why. You think they would know who he is? I'm kind of confused on that, to be honest. Because it seems pretty obvious that Artorias was revered as a hero when he came here, the way Elizabeth talks to him. And she should probably know that Goth is a friend of his, so I'm not sure why he's in the top of this tower and why they packed his eyes with resin. Kind of weird. And Kieran seems to be able to roam around as she pleases. Maybe once the inhabitants were consumed by the abyss, it happened. And yes, here I accidentally hit no when he asked me to help him. So I kind of freak out. I'm like, wait a second, he's not offering help now. It was just an accident, Goth. I didn't mean it. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll leave and come back. So I'm actually going to cut that out real quick of the video. So we're back, and it seemed like Goth even was like, oh, so he still caused you trouble, huh? You sure you don't want my help? So he shoots an arrow in the wing of Kalameet, bringing him down, making him easier to fight. So I'll actually cut the travel time out of that as well, because we already saw me go all the way over there. We don't need to see it again, I don't think. So we're back fighting Kalameet for realsies this time, and probably not going to go well. Probably going to die a few times. We'll see. Against Kalameet, well, I guess like most bosses, but especially against Kalameet, I'm usually very aggressive. I try to get underneath him, do a lot of damage, melee him, try to roll through his fire attacks. I don't know how well it goes right here, because I really should have quick roll for this. Like right there, that was not so good. Almost dead. Getting under him to heal. But of course he does the exact thing that will counter that and destroys me. So this has gone pretty terribly. And I get underneath that, thankfully. You should normally roll to the side of that. Rolling forward can be very risky. And I go in the wrong spot to dodge that. You want to stay away from two main spots when he does that attack. I get trampled. I'm almost dead. Have to Estus again. And he punishes me severely for that. Oh god, this has gone terribly. Oh god. Oh god. Ugh. Well, I'm out of Estus and I've done like no damage. Oh god, didn't roll through. And that is the end of that. That bite attack he has is very hard to roll dodge because the way it sweeps around, it can dead angle shields, it can punish a roll if you do it too early or late. You need to really roll in a very specific way to dodge it. Hopefully I'll show that in the attempt number 2. Okay, attempt number 2. Hopefully this goes up better than attempt number 1. That was pretty abysmally bad. Let's see what happens. So, roll towards the attack, not away from it. That was the easier to dodge one, though. And here you can see I go in the right spot to dodge that stomp move that time. And here I'm trying to roll through it. I roll too early. I really should have quick roll. Mid roll makes that really hard to do. And now I'm in danger of dying, but he goes easy on me. Here, this move, I roll through it, which gives you a time to punish it. You can actually go around it in the right angle. And here, mid-roll kind of screws me there. I really should be using quick roll. And blocking that actually, I think, got me killed. Because a lot of times when you block, you'll take block damage, but won't get knocked down or hit stun, which can lead to another attack which will kill you. Okay, attempt number 3. And I think I have changed my armor set to get quick roll now, which probably will help quite a bit. I would recommend, unless you're going like pure heavy strength build, I would recommend quick roll for the DLC fights. Alright, already got a decent amount of damage in, and I'm going to try and dart around this fire attack to get some damage in while he's doing that. And I'm able to, safely. Roll in. Oh, I did not get far enough inside him. And this is bad. Want to get out of there. I'm able to, and to heal safely. There we go. I got far enough in to where I wouldn't get hit. And yes, this is. You can see where I'm going when he does that stomp attack. That's the safe spot. There, it's basically any part in the front where after you dodge the first attack. If you go to the back area, if you're in the wrong spot, you can get stomped by his back legs. That was a bad heal, and he punished me for it. Ooh, and I got really lucky. That dodge roll was just in time. And here, since I have low health, I'm going to take this chance to back off and get my health back. Whenever he does that move, you're safe to heal. And going for the buff was greedy, and he was not having any part of that. And I got really lucky there. That was a risky Estus, but it worked out. And now I'm out of Estus. That's the way you want to dodge that move. Got it again, and I'm getting some damage in, but I got to be really careful. And I roll into the wrong location. I don't know why. I was, guess, pressured into it, and now I'm in deep trouble because I have no way to heal myself, no health, can't make any mistake. Got the right dodge roll timing, get some decent damage in. He is possible to bleed, but it's not easy to do. And right now I'm just praying I don't make any mistake of any kind. Ooh, that was close. Oh, barely survived. Oh, now, what got me killed there? My dodge timing was actually fine, but because of the position of the stage, his attack wasn't finished when he started hitting the wall, so he just kind of kept moving right on top of me. So there was really, basically, I would have needed to roll through him to get away from him completely. That's just a bad, unfortunate thing that can happen when he's attacking at a weird angle toward the wall like that. Okay, so this is attempt number 4. So I believe this makes Kalameet the winner. Or was Artorias killed me 3 times as well? This might be for the tie. Pretty tough. I really like these bosses though. But right now I think I'm back in my groove for fighting Kalameet. I've remembered what I need to do to take him out. I have the quick roll, which will help, so I think I got him this time. Or maybe I'll just get destroyed, we'll see. And right there you see I thought he was doing his sonic wave thing where he puts the curse on you, but it was actually the fire breath. And that move is really dangerous. You have to look for the tell where he leans down like that, because it will do tons of damage. And it can punish a bad time roll very easily. And I'm getting a lot of damage in right now, and I haven't even gotten touched. Dodge underneath, get some more damage in. I saw that coming, so I get out of there, and now I'm like, oh, I can just be really aggressive, probably not worth it. The buff is going to run out. So I take the time to get the buff back, and we are doing really good. A little too early on that. Again, I thought he was doing the other attack, but it works out. I love when he does that move. Gives you a lot of time to do damage. And there it is, but I was so far, and you actually hit the tail right there. If I was trying to get the tail weapon, that would be when you'd want to do it. I jump at the end just to be safe, and so far this fight has gone really well. Got that dodge roll timing again, more damage in, and I go in the wrong location and make my first mistake. I don't know why I went there, and now I might die. Shows how badly things can go when you make a stupid mistake. But now we're okay again. We're back into neutral position. I want to get my buff back. I probably didn't need to do that. And I'm like, well, maybe he'll just let me do it. And he does. So that was okay. Nice dodge roll. Get some more damage. And this is looking pretty good so far. But I get hit. But he lets me Estus, and we're okay. And now I got out of the way of that. Yeah, rolling to the side makes that easier to dodge. Punishing by hitting his wings there is probably the quickest way. And I'm like, oh, I can be really aggressive right now. Just follow him, get more damage in. Dodge to the side, stay in front. And he's doing his fire attack. Almost didn't make it out of there, actually. And right now I'm feeling really good about this. And right there, I screw up again because I thought he was doing the Sonic Wave attack, where you roll to the side. When he does that move, you want to roll forward. Just enough time to roll out of the way of that. And he is done. I really love that fight. Put a little happy emote on the top of it. Calamity Ring lets you take double damage, best ring in the game. So there's a lot of good items here. Of course, the Titanite Slab is one of them, and also some good souls. 2 souls of Brave Warrior, and a soul of a hero. And you get quite a bit of souls for taking them down. The interesting thing about the DLC is, when you think about it, it's all optional content. So I felt like they kind of used these bosses to really experiment with more challenging stuff. Because a lot of these enemies have, like, a lot of things that the typical bosses don't really force you to encounter, like really punishing dead angle attacks, really good roll punishing moves. In most of the standard stuff, blocking is pretty standard, dodging is pretty standard. You don't really have to worry about dead angles or roll punishes, where Artorias has his spin slash, which is pretty much designed to punish most rolls, and that's really interesting. Where in like typical Demon Souls and Dark Souls bosses don't have stuff like that. It's just, you know, if you roll at the right time, you dodge it. Not where if you roll at the right time, but you rolled sideways, you're going to get hit. And here I'm like, well, I might as well get my strength up to increase my scaling damage some more. So now the only thing to fight in DLC is Manus, but that's going to be tricky. Manus can be really serious. I love the fight, but he can really F you up if you're not careful. So I'm going to prepare for that. A better armor set probably would have helped. I think this is all non-upgraded stuff, which there's really no reason to go this far in the game without upgrading. Like, even like +5 you can get for pretty much free at the beginning of the game with just basic, shards and stuff. And, you can buy all that stuff for very cheap. So that will be where this episode ends. In the next episode, I guess we'll be going after Manus, Father of the Abyss.